Welcome back to the Crossover Podcast. I'm your host, Jeremy, alongside my co-hosts, as usual, Daquan, Alan, and Chris. What's up, guys?
Hello,
Hey,
hello.
how's it going?
Happy New Year to you all.
Happy New Year.
Yeah.
How are you feeling? Alan, are you feeling okay?
No, I've been having a horrible time fucking sleeping. I went to bed at 8:30 a.m. this morning.
Oh, holy shit.
And what's crazy is I was in bed at like 12:20. So I was in bed the entire time trying to sleep, but it didn't happen. So I don't know. I think I have to try something different, or I have to melatonin maybe. Yeah, I might have to start actually using that stuff again. So
Need somebody to physically knock you out.
I mean, that would help too. I mean, like I said, I've been pretty good sleeping over the last like 6 to 8 months, but then like recently, I think in like the middle of December when my cough kind of started, or the beginning of December, I've just been having like a horrible time sleeping. So it is what it is.
Gotcha. Well, hope you get a good night's rest at some point.
Right.
Very soon.
I mean, for the most part, at least, other than my sleeping, I'm good. I'm physically feel fine.
That's good. That's good. Well, as they say, new year, new me.
Right.
So this episode is gonna be. We don't got much news. There's nothing going on. I'm sure. I mean, there are things happening, but things that we don't, whatever. This one is gonna be more about predictions for the year. It could be game, media, wherever you comes to your mind. Does anyone wants to go first?
I think for gaming at least, and at least specifically because I haven't looked at everything, because obviously there's a bunch of games that are already announced, and then there's some games that have like a release window in 2025. Whether that's actually in 2025 or not is a whole other issue. But I know like specifically there's like a shit ton of JRPGs coming out, because 2024 was actually a really good year for JRPGs.
Yep.
And even more so this year's even more is coming out. Just a few to name off. I think Expedition 33 should be coming out this year. Hopefully. I don't actually know if it's not. Fate Extra, I forget what the remaster or remake is called. It was originally for the PSP, and I was really excited to play it because it's Fate and I'm a really big fan of it. But I've heard gameplay wise it's not the best. The West didn't get a full on English translation. There's some gameplay mechanics that are kind of just like rock paper scissors, and some like really really annoying aspects that just kind of don't even make it enjoyable to play. And this is coming from like friends that have actually played the game. I'm sure there's some people out there that just love that old, the way it plays. Well, they're like revamping it, making it a lot more fun. There's a bunch of other games that are coming out that I'm always just excited for. Like I know I can't remember if it's a new not new, but they're remaking or remastering one of the Tales games, so that's always fun because I enjoy those games. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Atelier Ryza, that series. Well, they also have like other games that are not just revolving around that character. It's like Atelier Yuma and a bunch of other stuff. Well, there's another one coming out, so I'm pretty excited for that one. There's also a game called The 100 something. I'd have to look it up. I can look it up here while someone else is talking. But it's done, like the character design and the art style is made by the same people that did Danganronpa, and it looks pretty good. It's so I mean, like this is just like even just like the little bit that I saw yesterday is I'd have to look up again. I don't fucking remember off the top of my head, but there is a couple YouTube channels that I follow specifically for JRPGs, and they made like a top 25 JRPGs coming out this year type shit, and they were just like naming a few, and so it looks pretty exciting year for JRPGs at least.
So you hope that the JRPG is going to be on the uptrend more this year?
I mean, I can only hope, but like, let's be honest, dude. Realistically, like, no matter how good these games are, despite them being banger after banger every year, such a niche amount of people are even giving them a try nowadays.
Gotcha. Daquan, Chris, you want to go?
The only thing I have is that it's gonna be super annoying for this year. I feel like there's gonna be a lot of people and a lot of like clickbaity YouTube articles about the Switch 2, because it's been rumored since last year, and I think this is the year where like a bunch of people are gonna leak a bunch of stuff and they're gonna say it's definitely coming out for Christmas. It's all this, and I'm so tired of it because Nintendo just they have the perfect release system where like they'll show it and then it's out. You know, it's not hyped about it. Like there's no teasers for it. It's just it's shown and then you can buy it. And I hate when people milk like any little tease or like any information, or they'll just straight up lie sometimes and just say, hey, this is what's going to be on it. And I hate seeing that like those articles get pushed every week.
I hope it's just not called the Switch 2.
I
Yeah.
part of me really wanted to just be called the Switch 2, and then when they upgrade it again so they can get even more money, it'll be the Switch 2 OLED Part 2.
Pretty much.
Oh my.
Pretty much.
You think it's coming out with not OLED?
I wouldn't be surprised with Nintendo, bro.
That's a good
I
point.
doubt it's gonna be OLED.
I doubt it'll be OLED, but it'll be like a better performance than the Switch.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
I think the last rumor I heard was that it's coming out in March.
There was a lot of rumors coming out that was going to come around they're finally going to make announcements for it in the winter, like around Christmas time.
Right.
And then a few months ago, it was like, oh, it's going to start coming around in March. I honestly don't think it's going to show up. If it's going to show up this year, it'll be in like June, July, probably. Or if for whatever reason they just really want to drag it out because Nintendo's Nintendo, it'll be Christmas this year.
Nintendo is always in their own bubble.
Yeah.
They don't give a shit about anything else.
Nope. Not even a little bit.
Not even a little bit.
Or listen, just to put this out there, there's that whole thing going on about like that bird flu, like what is it, H1N1, right? Something like that. 2020, when the Switch for Animal Crossing came out, was the same time everyone was in lockdown. What if Nintendo pulls 2020 again, and during lockdown again, they released the new Switch 2?
So they've actually just been sitting here this whole time waiting, like there's all these new diseases popping up. We just gotta wait for the lockdown, guys. We just gotta keep holding out.
That sounds horrible.
That's my tin hat theory right there.
They're actually having monthly meetings with the CDC trying to line this up.
That's gross. That is gross.
Oh my
God. It's not like out of the question, but it's just
just the thought of it alone is just oh my God.
That's a rough setup. That's rough.
What you got, Daquan? How many do you have in your head?
Well, because to be fair, at least the Switch came out in 2017. It just popped off in 2020. But why else are you waiting 7 years?
Yeah.
Because don't get me wrong,
that big of an upgrade.
Don't get me wrong, when you have generations between the Xbox One and the Xbox Series S, it's longer than that, but those are actual generational upgrade consoles that actually affect how the games look, how they play, whatever, and how they're developed. The Switch ain't gonna be that big of an upgrade, let alone how the games are gonna be developed or anything. Lord knows they probably have had that technology for the last 5 years. So what's the hold up here?
Gotcha. I understand.
Well, first one, we're gonna see another trailer for Elder Scrolls.
You actually think that's coming out this year? Another trailer?
We'll see a trailer. Yeah.
No, dude. I think
we have a trailer before.
We had we had the Flight Simulator title show.
Oh God.
That'll be a trailer.
So I will say
it's gonna be a teaser for the teaser.
Well, there's already been 2 trailers. There's the one that's the flyover of the area, and then there is the other one that shows off the tech that's in the woods.
Technically, that's technically a trailer for it. You're right, but
yeah.
I
But
will
I think we're
say,
gonna get the
I,
proper something this
I
year.
will say, if we don't get anything by Summer Games Fest of like the next Elder Scrolls, I've given up all hope on that game ever coming out.
Oh, it'll come out. Like when they first talked about it, they
Okay,
said that it would
let
be.
me rephrase that. I have any hope of that coming
Yeah.
out any like as a decent game.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, like if we don't
Yeah.
get like a not just a teaser, I'm talking about like a
Mhm.
story with gameplay elements and whatnot by Summer Games Fest. I've given up on this game being good at any point.
I don't think we're gonna get that. I think we're gonna get more confirmation of where the setting is.
Oh, that's fucking
And
tragic. I
that's.
don't even care
But
anymore.
I want to see gameplay. I don't care about the location.
I mean, we know what the gameplay is. It's going to be Starfield, but with
Oh
Elder
god.
Scrolls environments.
Oh no.
So,
No, all right, cool. So I'm
uh,
not gonna play it. That's crazy.
Crazy,
yeah,
dude.
I'm not playing it either. So that's the
Yeah,
other thing.
it's just the way. That's the way it goes.
Okay, in the event that they somehow miraculously upgrade their tech,
They're not using the they're not using
their
the creation
whole
engine anymore.
yeah.
Mm,
Would you play it? Would you at least
Mm,
attempt? Would you at least attempt to play it?
they
'cause it's
have
not
to.
the
It's not the engine. It's just the way they design games and the gameplay.
Right.
I-
If they upgrade that, like
I
modernize
don't,
it.
I don't even think like contrary to their belief, I don't think there's a problem with Bethesda's
Outdated gameplay.
original. No. I don't think there's a problem with their original game design. I think the problem comes down to their scope with their design doesn't match. Like for Skyrim and even Morrowind, like those areas are large, but they work for the size. Like you don't feel like you can't traverse the whole map in like 40
No,
minutes or
I don't
something.
care about the location, Daquan. I'm talking about the gameplay. The
Well, no,
outdated gameplay for each game they've released so far.
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. The reason the gameplay feels outdated is because the maps are too big. Like they
Mm.
have too large of areas. Like
Mm.
Bethesda's titles are fine because it's simple, like simplistic actions and combat systems that are just involved in great storytelling. That is best done in bite sizes. But if you give somebody the scale of like Red Dead Redemption and says go out there and do Elder Scrolls shit, like yeah, it's gonna be boring. It's like who wants
Mhm.
to do this? And even with Starfield, like you give people hundreds of planets and whatnot to go through, it's like, yeah, that's boring. Like Fallout 76, the same thing. Like all this space, this is boring gameplay.
It
I
just
don't oh,
sorry.
good.
I was gonna say it feels a lot like when games were starting to get really high fidelity graphics, you would have a
Mm,
lot of games that had looked gorgeous, but it was just skin deep. Like their gameplay was not revolutionary. It wasn't great to begin with. It was just kind of like, oh yeah, it looks great, but like
yeah.
is there gameplay to match with it? And that's what it feels like with Bethesda, where it's like, look how much we can fit into this, and it's like, yeah, but
Yeah,
is there
16
actually stuff
times
to
the
do in it?
detail,
Yeah,
pretty
16
much.
times the
yeah,
size.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
yeah.
That's the same energy that I get. That's just what to say.
Yeah. Because even for the example of Skyrim, Skyrim took 3 years to develop with 100 people.
Mhm.
Hmm.
It's like Skyrim took 3 years and 100 and something people. But for some reason, Elder Scrolls 6 and Starfield is taking 5, 6 years each.
And then
Mm.
Like,
didn't like New Vegas take like a year and a half or some shit like that? It was
yeah,
something
Vegas for
ridiculous.
sure. Yeah, like not even, and even what Halo. A lot of the Halo games only took like 2 years. So it's
Something like
like
that. Yeah.
the amount of stuff people are just trying to do just makes no sense. It's like you have a team, you got a process. You can literally make a game good in like 2 years. You can spend 4 years in pre-production if you feel like it, and just get a good game in two. But it seems like they're spending 6 to 7 years to figure out how big can we make something, and then another 4 years to actually build the thing, and it's rough.
Yeah.
Like Skyrim came out in 2011.
Yep.
It's 2025, and we're not expecting Elder Scrolls 6 until 2028 or something.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
wouldn't even probably say that.
That's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. For
wild.
sure.
Because
Yeah.
what is that? That's
17 years.
17 years to make another game. Like where?
That's a lifetime. You can vote almost.
I think there are like 400. Yeah, yeah. At this point, Bethesda's those girls can vote now. It's like I think there are 500 people at Bethesda in Maryland, and then they still have like 4 other satellite studios. So there's probably around 2,000 people in total that's working on these games.
Mhm.
And it's like, how do you get 2,000 people that can't make a game in under 15 years?
Yeah. And then you run into that, like, you hear people talk about a game this much for this long with this many people. You expect it to be an insane game because it's been this long
Yeah.
for this many people. And I think it was earlier last year where they came out and said that people should temper their expectations.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, dude, you could have said that maybe 10 years ago, not now. It's been this long.
Not now.
Yeah.
You know what's another thing I'm fucking sick and tired of, dude? And I hope that changes this year. You know what, bro?
What?
Hot take, bro. I'm tired of these open world games. They can go fuck themselves. I'm so sick of it. I'm so sick of it.
Okay.
There's certain games that shouldn't
Yeah.
even be open world because I think they benefit from being a little more linear in like an
Yep.
open-ish world area. Like,
Listen.
for example, fucking Legend of Zelda, bro. I get it. People love Breath of the Wild, whatever it is. I don't give a fuck. I genuinely believe Legend of Zelda is better and far more interesting in a more linear setting.
I agree.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
had me until you brought up Zelda.
I
was
knew-
with you.
I knew you would
I
disagree,
agreed with you
but no.
100%.
Sorry, I agree.
But
I agree with Alan.
listen,
I agree.
listen.
Oh god. Oh,
I will say this. It won Game of the Year because so many people felt the exact opposite of what you felt.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
10
tell you that
years
right now.
ago. Not now.
When it came out, Zelda Breath of the Wild won.
Yeah, it came out in 2017, 2018. Guess what?
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild 2 didn't win Game of the Year. Guess what? We're sick and tired of it too.
Okay, yes. Yes, but you specifically brought up Breath of the Wild. So
Yeah,
I'm going with that
I brought up Breath of the Wild as in like in general, right? I'm not talking about the
Okay.
first one because in the first one, yeah, when it came out, whatever, bro. People loved it. They liked something different. But guess what? The second one didn't win it, and I'm pretty sure people aren't wanting another one. And if they do, well, then y'all are fucking weird. I'm just saying. I think they're better. I think they're better when they're more linear because it gives them more creativity. They can focus on other elements other than the random ass shit you can do in the open world. At least personally, and as well as a lot of these other games, just like Starfield, just like a bunch of other of these RPGs. I can't think of any. I'd have to look up more. But a lot of these more games would have benefited on a smaller scale or a more linear storytelling. That was my argument for it.
What I was gonna say is that I agree with that argument, especially because having just finished Jedi Survivor and coming off of Fallen Order, Fallen Order was a more on rails experience than it was for Survivor. And why the hell do I have a rooftop garden that I need to tend to when I'm trying to save the like the resistance and shit? It felt so out of place that I completely ignored it just off principle. I was just like, I'm not doing that. And the fact that it was so open world, I was still coming off of Fallen Order. I would wind up in areas that I was definitely not supposed to be in, and they had no clue what to do once I was there. There was not an option to tell me like, hey, you're not supposed to be here yet. There was areas that I was in at the beginning of the game that I didn't come back to until literally the last chapter of the game. So I skipped a crap ton of content and got to see stuff that was supposed to be a big reveal, right? Like this big thing at the end of the game. I saw that without context at the beginning of the game. And so that when I did see it with context, it didn't give me anything out of it because I had already saw it. So I definitely agree with you on that. I feel like if you're gonna make a story game, you need to focus on the story and not the open world aspect of it, because open world is not a selling point like it used to be.
No.
No.
And like, don't get me wrong, there are certain genres that it doesn't need to be open world, but like it benefits from it, right? Like if you're trying to make like your own version of like Minecraft, Power World, stuff like that, that kind of needs to be open world. We can't really have like a really small story-like setting as like a survival crafter. Sure, you can do it because like you have games like Stalker and stuff where they have survival crafting elements, but like that's not the point of the game. But like yeah, like I think nowadays when I see a game that I'm really interested in and then they start trying to make it like open world as a selling point, I'm like less interested to play it.
That's fair enough. Yeah.
Like if they come out, I haven't looked recently, but if they come out with like Expedition 33 trying to be fucking open world type shit, I'm gonna be less interested.
I mean,
Well, because it's just a bigger time commitment too. Just off the bat, you can already feel like, oh, there's gonna be collectibles. There's gonna be people I need to talk to. I'm gonna have to keep going back and forth from one location to another just to talk to somebody who's gonna end up in the other location I was in just anyway. But I can't talk to them while they're there. I gotta go to the other location to talk to them.
Yeah, no, and it's not even like that for me because like yeah, for those people, especially the people that do 100% games, like my friend Xeon, fucking 100% fucking everything he plays. I don't know how he fucking sits there and does that shit. It's so annoying. It's so frustrating, some of that shit. But for me, the minute that I see someone go open world, that's time and resources spent elsewhere other than like focusing on the story. Really, really creative gameplay elements. Like especially again as an example, Expedition 33, since I brought it up, it looks like it's gonna be really interesting and really creative with the way they do turn-based combat and the way that they're gonna do the RPG system. And I want the resources that would be spent making this, like, don't get me wrong, it'll probably be really pretty open world. I'd rather those resources and time go to like expanding and making a more complex system or making the story way more interesting. So like, don't get me wrong, I think open world games still have their place because obviously they're still selling really well. But I kind of just like sick and tired over like everything trying to be open world.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Like I remember 100% in Remake.
Yeah.
And then Rebirth came out. No. As much as I love that game, I'm not gonna do everything. I don't got time for that. There's just too much of a time commitment.
Honestly,
to
I just finished Remake this morning. I was playing it, and yeah, I was like, even playing that game, which is super linear, not even open world whatsoever. I was like, I'm not doing this side shit. I don't give a fuck about these side quests. Like some of them I can kind of like because they're involving characters I care about, but like for the most part, I was like, I don't care. I'm not gonna collect everything.
And now that I think about it, I don't think I've ever 100%ed any game.
I've done a few, but it's like JRPGs and stuff.
I do it very rarely. I have to like. I have to like the game.
I have to love the game. Like the games that I've 100%ed were Persona 4 Golden, a Final Fantasy 7, like the original, and that's it.
Oh, wait a second. Original. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, the original.
Now that I think about it, that era, yes, but that was, I think, before the 100%ing something was like a.
It was like a real time commitment.
Yeah, because I think Lord of the Rings: Return of the King and Kingdom Hearts are like the only two I've beaten fully.
Oh yeah, like, Kingdom Hearts 2 I've 100%ed. Yeah.
I did the first Spider-Man game and Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah, fuck those types of games trying to 100% that shit, dude.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Because that's the 100% that I just can't get behind, because that is where you have to sit there like, all right, well now I have to go find what collectibles I'm missing. Oh, there's a random
track down those pigeons.
Yeah, I gotta go track down those pigeons. Oh, there's a random NPC in the middle of the map that I just happened to not swing by or be by at a certain point. Gotta go do their side quest, and it's like. Or like in Final Fantasy Rebirth, again, as much as I love the series, God, some of those mini games are just not fun after the 5th time you have to do them to do it.
No.
And so it's just like, yeah, I'm okay. I'd rather not do that. I'll do all the even in Final Fantasy 16, which is again more linear and not open world. I would I would probably quote unquote 100% the game, but it'd be more like I'm gonna do the story, I'm gonna do all the side quests, and then like that's it. If it's like collectibles or random ass shit like that, or I'll maybe fight most of the A rank, S rank mobs, and that's about it. Like I'm not gonna go that hard into it.
No, that's just not for me. Too much of time commitment.
I already have I already have a problem fucking finishing games as it is. I don't need another reason, like another wall for me to like go finish a game.
Yeah. You have any other predictions, Daquan?
I actually have two more. One, probably going to be weird. I think this is the year that Epic starts to wind down Fortnite.
You think so? Really?
That was a very bold prediction.
Yeah, I think they start winding down Fortnite.
Okay, well let me
Being
ask,
like-
what is your definition of winding down? Like, are we gonna finally not see growth? Are we gonna actually see a decline in player base?
I think decline in player base, and you'll see them start to do more maintenance. Like, just because they've already gotten to the point to where they've released the UEFN to the fullest capacity. They can pretty much do it. They got first person modes, they have the choose any character model stuff set up, they have so many things set up for you to create your own whatever. I think Epic is done trying to come up with different things for Fortnite, which leads into a 0.5 thing. I think this is just me saying this, might just be me on the whim. I think we see the glimpse of whatever Epic's next engine is going to be about.
No.
I don't think it's like going to be anything somebody gets a hold of or like a big presentation.
Wait, you think they're working on UE6 now?
I think they're working on something bridging away from UE5 because there's a lot of games are launching with UE5 now. And there's a good amount of issues because of how UE5 is architecture to begin with. But I think there is like a way to get around that with Epic. And the way I would see them doing it is making. I see them trying to do. I'm not going to say custom engines, but I think they might pull into something to where it's like, here is a module for making a shooter. Here's a module for making an RPG. Here's a module for doing da da da. I see them doing that to lighten the load of these different engine variants that people can have. Because I know it's supposed to be like, oh, here's an engine that's project agnostic, but more people are looking for Unreal for streamlined process. And I think the data they're getting from Fortnite gives them enough information to say, like, here's the type of stuff people are looking for in these experiences. Here's what people normally want to use. We get to developer info. Here's what they're getting when they're trying to make MOBAs or first-person shooters. So we can literally tailor this and trim the fat for the developers. So optimization, some of these other tools that they need are just in here. So I think that's where they're headed for 2025.
I hear you on the engine side, but on the first side, I don't know about that, man. I don't know. That's a tough pill to swallow right there. I don't know about that one.
Also, they're running out of collabs.
They are running out of
collabs. That I can understand.
Like they do have the Disney thing coming up, right? Like there's the Disneyland in Fortnite like conversation that's still happening. But
I didn't know that.
already, yeah, they announced it
a while back.
Yeah, it's like a year ago or something. But they're putting Disneyland in Fortnite. You can go to the different Disney worlds using, Fortnite as a book or whatever. But that'll be its own thing, and most people probably won't interact with that. Like it'll be kids and a couple of people that's like, "Oh, cool, Disney," but never just be what it is.
The good old Disney adults.
Pretty much. But outside of like where Fortnite can go, it can't go anywhere. Like they have done what they can do with this game. Like it's not like World of Warcraft where you can just infinitely keep doing it because you have like an interesting world people care about. No one really cares about Fortnite lore or whatever the hell. Like there's some people that's like, oh my god, the sky broke and this happened, and it's like this is clickbait nonsense. You're trying to make a career out of YouTube. Very well, no one really cares. But there is no actual content in Fortnite other than what they can bring in, and I don't see them bringing in like what are they going to bring in? The next new Marvel TV show character.
Nah, I was like, realistically, the only thing they can keep adding is trying to get some more of the iconic video game characters. But like, let's be real, the people that aren't in Fortnite are probably not going to sell their characters to Fortnite by this point. And the only other thing is like you start bringing in like iconic movies other than like what we've had, or you keep going down the train of anime. But like, let's be real, bro, not everyone's into the anime, so it's like
And even for what Fortnite is, it's also still about like, this is Fortnite. You're here to like kill other players and win a game. Or somebody really wants those other things like anime and their favorite movies, they're going to go to their favorite movies and they're going to go to their favorite animes. Like they're not going to hop in Fortnite to get owned by a 7-year-old.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it's finally run its course as far as growth. Is it going to sustain itself? More than likely.
It'll be
Like,
fine.
Fortnite probably has another 15 years before it's like done. But yeah, I think both of those that's like 1.5 prediction, I guess. 1.5. Those things will happen because they're both epic.
Mhm.
Last thing, and I'm hoping I'm wrong. I'm hoping I'm wrong. That's all I just preface. I pray I am wrong. I think we are going to see more than half of the AAA space pretty much like cut their franchises.
What do you mean by that?
Like whatever the scale, scope, or idea that they would have had to expand or do something like fun with it, I think more than half of them will just say, we are not doing anything other than what secures our numbers.
I believe that. I wish it wouldn't be that way, but I think it's just kind of how a lot of those bigger studios will be.
Yeah, I can agree with that a little bit.
Because right now it's the minority. It's the minority of AAA developers that are like, all right, let's be real stingy. Let's da da da. Like most of them are still trying to do different things. But coming into this year, there's a lot of combination of political and economic questions that I don't think they're going to be trying to make any type of any risk. And with that, it will probably come a lot more layoffs. Like there's probably going to be more layoffs this year than it was last year.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, that's insane.
Well,
So,
for me, kind of the opposite. What? You got more? Oh my god, you got more?
No. Jeremy, you got to let us ask you. So, what are your predictions, Jeremy?
Oh my
God.
To contrary to what Daquan says, I think I hope this is the case. I think there's going to be less layoffs this year. I really hope so.
Optimistic, I see.
I'm being optimistic about this.
What I was gonna say is I think maybe what we would see is not even like necessarily layoffs. I think there's gonna be I don't know. I had a feeling like a month ago or so that because of what was happening at AAA studios and like you have all the other controversies going through like Blizzard and stuff like that, I thought eventually instead of like having these really massive AAA studios, some of the smaller studios would be having an influx of developers and hopefully which would mean less layoffs, but again, I don't fucking know.
Yeah,
I had a feeling that the industry would have a pretty significant change where AAA studios wouldn't have as much power as they do, quote unquote.
Right. Like I think this year, like in general, is going to be a good year for games. I hope that the layoffs are at a minimum.
I'm gonna say this to what Alan said. So one of the interesting traps with leaving these bigger companies and trying to form your own is folks don't really understand that it is a business.
Yeah.
So they just assume, oh, this person, this fat cat at the top just has all the money. They don't really care about us to go make our own studio. Yeah, follow that guy. They follow them, 30 people leave, and now you got 30 people with no idea how to feed themselves or pay their bills because somebody multiple pay grades above them took care of it. And for some odd reason, and I know the reason why, and I talked to a buddy earlier that's still in AAA space. We were talking about like people do pocketed teamings, like they do pocketed team ups where it's like 20 people here, 11 people there, 5 people there, and they're all making their own little small studios. When they do that, they're spreading the resources from all these publishers, and instead of the publisher saying like, okay, we can fund one studio of like 150 people. Now you have 15 publishers that all have to individually fund all these other small studios, and it's a massive risk to the publishers, and they're not doing it.
Yeah.
So the amount of people that lose their jobs and have like, the back and forth of, and then this is where it comes into like the layoff conversation. People are laying themselves off at this point by saying, I'm going to quit and go make my own game. They go do it, they flop, and the next thing you know, for the past like 4 years, they've run through their entire savings, and now they got to run back to AAA if there's room for them. Yeah. And that seems to be the trend with people, especially because they don't understand the business part of trying to make a game.
Yeah, but again, for me, it's a more optimistic thing that I want to happen.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough with not knowing what's going to happen with all the economical, political, all that other bullshit happening in the next couple of years.
Yeah.
It's just a big unknown until it happens.
Yes, that's what a prediction is. I want to bring this up real quick because we were talking about it. I saw an article on what was it, Games Radar, where it was talking about how where it was talking about how the term AAA has kind of like lost meaning.
100%.
Yeah, like as time has gone on. I was gonna ask, like, do you guys agree on that?
I don't know. I guess what would you consider AAA, right? I always just consider AAA as like a bigger studio with more developers and more money. And in that case, I think that AAA still has its definition. What I think happened over the last 10 years or so is the value of a AAA into a game is what people care about now. And most people do not give a fuck. Like, I think most of the games that I play aren't even from AAA studios.
I categorize AAA different. And honestly, I think they should rename that instead of AAA. Like, AAA should be the categorization of...
Quadruple A?
No, like, it should
Your
be
first quadruple A game.
For the... That's the thing. So right now, they use AAA to categorize the games and the studios. I think it should only be for the game.
I think it should only be for the game, yeah.
Independent studios can make AAA games,
right?
But they're not AAA studios. So, like, I think the studio themselves should probably be called like a corporate studio or a enterprise studio or something, so you can express there's a lot of freaking people, and then it can be an indie studio, independent with smaller numbers. Cool deal. But as far as AAA studio, I think it has lost its meaning because it's supposed to mean you're going to get a good game out of the studio,
right?
Which is not the case. But for the games, I mean, we still get AAA games like Black Myth Wukong and Baldur's Gate 3, Helldivers. As much as I don't care to play that game at all, those are still AAA games. They are like well done. They have a good audience and will handle it. But as far as the studios go, that has lost its meaning completely. Yeah. Studios are trash.
My second prediction. This is also one that I hope doesn't necessarily happen, but it might happen. Ubisoft is definitely going to be sold off this year.
Oh, dude,
100%.
I'm already ready to see what scraps get sold out and what gets taken down with it when it disappears. Yeah. I don't think Ubisoft makes it through another year, and if they do, it's the year after that.
They're on the thinnest line ever, and I hope they don't get bought by Tencent. Please don't. I know that might be the case, but just sell off their franchises and just do something else.
Honestly,
Ubisoft is in trouble, dude.
Honestly, I think they're fine.
Why are you? Why? I
think they're fine.
Have you not seen 2024?
I have, but I think they're fine. I think they'll be fine. I don't know why. I think Ubisoft will be fine. I think they'll be fine.
What do they have coming out this year? They have Assassin's Creed.
I don't think as a company, like as the business, if they could serve, like if you're asking me if they could survive for the next few years and maybe come back, yeah, sure, they have the resources for it. But what I think is the reason I don't think they're going to last much longer is because I think the management and the people in charge are panicking, and something's going to be like something drastic will happen, and that's what's going to end up either selling or like they will no longer be Ubisoft as it stands at the moment.
Like what are they releasing this year besides Assassin's Creed?
Well,
where's Beyond Good and Evil 2? That game's been announced like 100 years ago.
It ain't coming out. Yeah,
that's not coming out. No.
The thing with something like Ubisoft, they're kind of in the same boat as, I hate to say it, they're in the same boat as Blizzard.
That's what?
Like
Blizzard.
As Blizzard.
Blizzard.
Like Blizzard And full transparency, I have no idea about Blizzard's numbers and none of the nonsense. I have access to none of those things. I was on the Activision side, so I don't know nothing about Blizzard over here. However, for their titles, they don't have that many,
No.
right? Like, I mean, again, they have a good amount of titles because it's a big studio, but like as far as the ones that are bringing in the money for them, there are like 3 of them. So they have 3 that are consistently bringing in their resources.
Right.
Ubisoft has a massive catalog, like massive. It is ugly how many games that they have, and they have made their money really early. In Ubisoft, I don't think is as large as something like Activision Blizzard King.
Mm-hmm.
Like they put out a game once every 3 years, 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they like use less resources. So for me, I think Ubisoft is fine because I think they've always had more cushion based off of like how many people that they have. But to your point about management and how they run stuff, I think there'll be some massive shifts and there will be layoffs because people have made bad games. But I think Ubisoft themselves would be fine. I can't see like if Ubisoft like as a company goes down and they end up having to be cannibalized.
Mm-hmm.
That I think marks a turning point in what game development means.
Do
Because
you think it, what's the family that owns it?
I don't know the name.
Daquan.
Yeah.
There you go.
Do you think they'll just sell the company off to someone else?
no, I don't think they sell. No,
I think they still have enough reason to hold
they-
on.
yeah, there's plenty of reason to hold on to Ubisoft. I think they will get rid of management and hire more people to do what they think needs to be done. Because right now they got friction between them and what the management is telling them. They'll probably just get rid of management and then
Yeah.
get new people.
Yeah, it's the same story that's with the Bond franchise, right? Like a family owns it and they held the controlling stake of it. I did see that I think it was back in October. There was talk of Tencent buying up more and more capital
More
on it.
control.
Yeah, there was people talking about that maybe they are considering selling it. But it's just hearsay.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, because I know for the last like 6 months, that's what they've been saying about Ubisoft. So, I mean, it's just, again, just rumors and random shit they hear passing by.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like I said, I think there's going to be something drastic that'll change, and whether that's actually good or bad for Ubisoft, I don't know. I just think there's going to be a really big change this year, whether it's management all being gone, some of their franchises being sold off as far as their IPs, or a bigger company buying them out to give them more resources to then hopefully save them from like the shit that they've been making.
Yeah, like
I don't even know if resources are the problem. Though.
No, it's not
No,
resources.
No,
It's not resources.
No.
It's not resources.
Okay.
Like I want Ubisoft to survive for sure because I think they're an important part of the industry. But as of right now, it's not looking good to me.
It's not.
And it's not even like I have like complete loss of faith in Ubisoft either, because they've tried. Like some of the games they've released within the last like 10-15 years, like some of them have been kind of interesting, and it's usually like execution that's the issue, or like the actual development process. Like something along the line is really getting fucked up, and I think it's a big time to like actually try to figure it out.
Yeah,
I think I'm like obviously this is all just from like an outside perspective, but I think it does still come down to like the family, because they ultimately have a say in what gets developed and what gets pushed out, right?
Yep.
And you see it all the time where it's just like you might have really good ideas at the bottom, but by the time they get to the top, it just doesn't translate, or it just gets pushed aside. And
I don't think it's the ideas though.
Do you think so?
Like
No, I don't think it's the ideas.
The family can't give a damn about whatever game they're trying to make. Like they can't care. Like that's not their role in the entire like the organization. I think, and normally whenever people have to do this, it's a conversation of like, how much is this going to cost us, and what are we spending to make this happen? And most of the time, if you're that individual in some type of business, you're looking at, okay, well, here's our margin from here to here. You want this. What are you going to give me later to reimburse the situation? And a lot of time people can't answer those questions. So then features and scope then get jumbled up because you don't have the number that you originally thought you was going to have to make the project happen. So then a whole bunch of ideas get jumbled up. Like I personally do not blame the family for whatever this is. The problem comes down to whoever is producing these games, whoever the management and the leadership is that's sitting down trying to come up with these ideas, because a solid idea will get made. Like Prince of Persia, the 2D side scroller, that was a very solid game.
Mm-hmm.
Like solid, and it was made. The family didn't say no to it, and it didn't cost that much to make. But games like Valhalla and the rest of those games, they take a lot longer. Those are bigger conversations, and the family's probably looking like, that's $300 million. You didn't do well last time. Why should I give you 300 again? Like maybe I'll give you 200 this time. Like that's a reasonable thing to say from people who continually fail you.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I kind of put them. I put Ubisoft in the same boat as WB. I think they just have very garbage developers.
Oh my god.
Like, they're just whoever's making these games don't know what they're doing. Like there is, yeah.
I wish it could be like one of those situations like, oh, they just made a mistake, or like we can give them the benefit of the doubt, but no, bro, it's like consistent problems, and it's like you can't give them the benefit of the doubt anymore. And I feel like if you're running the company and you're seeing this, how have changes not been made already?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think there's only one time I've ever seen an owner be that active, and that's Randy Pitchford. And even with him being active, it was like, I want these three things in the game, and that's what I'm going to be after. Like I want these three,
Right.
and that was it. Everything else was like, make the game cool. So I don't know. I want to give Ubisoft a boom, or at least the owners and the management.
I think ultimately everyone here has at least one Ubisoft game that they love, and like we definitely don't want to see the company fail. And it sucks to see it in the state that it's at. We just wish something was different, for sure.
Yeah.
They just need to take the For Honor team and let them make all the other games.
I don't know about all the rest of the games, but I think they should be. I think they should be given more.
Well, no, like what I'm saying is between For Honor and Prince of Persia, those are the only two new things Ubisoft has done. That is it. Like even Rainbow Six Siege, it was literally just Rainbow Six, and then they said we'll make it like PvP, which they've already done that before. So it was like, if they want experimental things done, get a team that has done experimental things and executed well. Which they only got two teams. So I don't know. If I was them, I would take that little skeleton crew you got on For Honor and have them make other games. Say, hey, hire people to do what y'all doing, and y'all go make a new game. And then boom, thumbs up.
For Honor 2 confirmed.
They're never making For Honor 2. It pains me so much. It pains me.
Oh god. I got three more.
Oh boy.
3, 4. Oh Lord.
Microsoft this year is going to be on the upswing with their first party games.
First party games.
With the only exception to this, I don't think Fable is going to be good. But Doom,
I mean, I have my.
Doom, I think will be good. South of Midnight
this year.
I think Doom comes out this
it's
year.
the medieval one, right?
Doom,
Yeah.
The Dark Ages. Yeah.
I can't believe I'm excited.
As much.
No, bro. Doom is always a fun time.
I have my issues with that developer for reasons, but I think Doom will do good this year. Avowed might do good this year. I said that's the biggest might I've ever said in my life.
I don't think we're getting Perfect Dark this year as much as I wanted.
No, we're not. No, I don't think so either. South of Midnight might be okay.
I think South of Midnight is actually a really cool game as far as like art design and the way it's going to be played. But I don't know. Like I think it's very much for like that specific type of crowd that likes those games. I guess it's like the only way I can describe it. Like I saw South of Midnight and I think it's really cool and it's fine. But like let's be real, I'm never going to play it.
Right.
Which sucks. It's just, let's be real, bro. I don't have enough time and I have all this other shit I gotta play. I gotta make choices somewhere.
Yeah.
And I have no faith in Fable.
Dude, I have my own issues with Fable, but I wanted Fable to be good, but it's not looking that way.
Quick question, maybe one of you guys knows. So you know how Microsoft, they went ahead and bought the Call of Duty studios, right? Like that went through.
The Activision Blizzard that is under Xbox now.
Yeah, they that counts as a
first party game.
As a first party.
Right? Yeah, so I mean that alone is gonna make it a good year, right? Because Call of Duty always sells. Does it not?
But it comes out every year. I'm tired.
Every year
I'm
it
tired.
sells.
Well,
Yeah, no number.
I feel like it does anyway.
No, you gotta remember they changed their schedule to every 2 years now, and
Did they?
they did, and one's not coming out this year.
Really?
So it's gonna be until next year.
Wait.
Yeah. We're 100% real. Yeah, go look it up. They made an announcement and everything. They said they were gonna switch to a 2-year cycle.
I promise you, there's not one coming out this year.
Yeah.
I promise you.
What?
If that's the case, then I might be unretired.
Oh my god.
He's gonna go over.
He
there and
literally needed any excuse to go back to Call of Duty. It's crazy.
I've been saying this for years. Stop the 1 year develop. Just make it every 2 years.
Now, to be fair, it's not every year like a 1 year development cycle. It's like every 3 because they're cycling through studios.
But
now they have more time.
Release schedule.
But now they have more time.
Let it breathe or something.
That's crazy. All right, now I know.
I don't think there's going to be one next year either.
You don't think so?
I'm fine with that too.
I mean, I don't have an issue with it. I just can't imagine they'd go 2 years without selling one.
Well, the problem is they're under a new, not Overlord. They have a new parent company.
Overlord.
Now,
no, Overlord's fine. Overlord's fine. No, you're good.
They have a new parent company, and after you're acquired, there's like that time frame where you're having to like assess the books based off of like what was done in like the time that you were purchased. So they're gonna have to see how well Black Ops 6 is doing. 6, right? That's the one that just
I mean, apparently it's doing well.
Yeah,
it's doing really well.
They're gonna look at Black Ops 6. They're gonna look at Warzone, and they're going to look at the rest of the products before they go ahead and rate it up. Because right now, Activision now has to look at Microsoft for permission for these games to be made. It's no longer just like, oh yeah, we want to go and make this. It's like, oh well, see, we actually need half your studios to help out this other studio over here. So maybe you don't get to make a specific thing at the moment. So I think they're probably going to take 2 years before, like it'll probably be 2027 when we see the next Call of Duty.
All right.
I guess that makes sense. I don't know if it would take that long, but maybe you're right. I have no idea.
It'll take that long. It'll take that long. I can tell you right now.
I do think Microsoft is going to be in the upswing this year, despite their first party games.
I mean, honestly speaking, dude, it's crazy because like during the Summer Games Fest and all that stuff, the show that I was actually most excited about and came out most optimistic about was the Xbox One.
Yeah.
So I mean, so I'm hoping that they'd manage to deliver on those games they lined up. They don't get like exponentially delayed. They they have the proper time and care, and they don't come out garbage messes like the Ubisoft games. So we'll see.
Gotcha.
Well, I do think again some developers they're just a little better than others.
Yep,
of course. Yeah.
That's in any profession.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this one's just a little more public.
It is.
This next one might bring some. This next one might bring some heat.
Okay.
I think Bungie's gonna do a comeback this year.
Oh my god!
The fucking audacity of this bitch, dude.
I think when they released their Frontiers expansion, it's gonna bring back players. They're gonna try new things, which is great that they try new things. The only thing that they have to do is make sure those things work. That is it.
Jeremy, we were friends at one point.
Oh, my bad. I'll see myself out. Because there's no way. I'm sorry. There's no way PlayStation is gonna let them go through another couple of years making broken shit. There's no way.
here's the thing. It's not whether they let them do it. It's how much are they going to take over? How different is it going to be by the time they're done doing whatever they need to do with it? Because there's no way they let them get away with this, but there's also no way that they're just going to be like, hey, yeah, like it's
Like-
I feel like it's going to be one of those things where the Bungie we know now is going to be completely different this time next year.
I think it's already different right now.
Yeah, it's been different.
So
They already put the note out
wasn't
that,
it?
Sony took over X amount of them already.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And wasn't it like not even like 3-4 months ago where they said because of the shakeups and the changes that they're downscaling Marathon?
100%.
And so you think they're gonna still be on the upswing when Destiny is at the current state that it is, even though it is improving. I'll be honest, it's improving. And then
think so,
Marathon,
too.
which is, and even with Marathon, which was really
Yes.
heavily anticipated, is now heavily downscaled and isn't gonna be.
I think that will be the case because, like Daquan said, they're basically bringing down the scope. They're releasing 2 expansions a year, but their scope is going to be much smaller than previous like full year expansions.
I'll say this real quick. There was I can't fucking find the post, but there was somebody that was doing a thing where they like took the player base just on PC for every December since the game has come out.
I've seen that post.
Yeah, and it is bad.
It is abysmal.
It is
very bad.
Very bad. And
that's why
this is also coming from somebody who absolutely loves the game, has over 5,000 hours in it, and I haven't touched it in like 2 months.
I was supposed to, Christian hasn't even played on it like recently.
No. I haven't touched it in 2 months. Well, not even that. Like, dude, I'm out here desperately looking for another game. I'm playing single player games. I'm playing story games. That is not me. But Bungie is letting me down so bad. I'm out here.
Now I was gonna say he finished Jedi Survivor like 2 weeks ago, like a week ago.
Yeah.
And he's out here playing fucking. He's over here trying to get me to play some fucking dumbass game called Entropy Survivors. Like my man's desperate out here. That's why I'm looking at Jeremy. Like, are you brain damaged? Are we good? Like, are we friends?
No, I'm not. I think this is a prediction. You know,
that's fair.
We make predictions out here in the streets. You know what I mean?
Even if you're just completely wrong, it's fine. You're allowed.
Okay.
I for one hope that in a couple months or whatever, they come out with the game plan or they come out with something that has me so hooked on it that that's the only thing I play for the next couple months. But I don't.
You probably won't see that until maybe April.
April. All right.
Maybe April. Closer to the end of next
quarter.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I can't see Bungie doing anything. This is why.
That's why I say this was heated. Telling you.
One, but like, just hear me out. One, they have been stripped of their original identity and group, right? So it's a whole new group at Bungie.
Yeah.
2, the marathon shakeup, like we mentioned, which means that they're struggling on internal resources to make what they originally thought. To 3, they have 3 projects running right now. Marathon, actually 4. Marathon, Destiny Rising, and they have the reboot of Anthem.
I forgot about that.
So,
Destiny Rising?
It's their mobile game.
Mobile game.
No. I know that. It's being made internally.
Yeah.
It's
isn't it by NetEase?
It's NetEase that makes the game.
But they're overseeing it.
Bungie's overseeing it. So like you have 4 different things that you're overseeing.
Wait. What about this Anthem thing?
So they got the rights for Anthem and they've been rebooting it.
When was this?
It was
Really?
it was a while ago. Yeah. It wasn't even that long after it shut down either. It was pretty quick.
It was like 8 months or so, maybe a year after it got confirmed.
Oh, hold up. What?
I don't like
that's
Anthem.
the thing I was like,
I like the idea of Anthem.
I like Anthem.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and I'm like, I don't see Bungie doing anything this year other than like racking up money from Destiny Rising, because NetEase made a better Destiny than Bungie did.
Yeah,
which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's wild.
They put a waifu on it, and that's all they had to do. But you just don't understand.
Not even just that, they have AI to help you in missions.
Mm-hmm.
Like why did it take? I'm not even gonna go on my rant about Bungie at this point, but I don't know. I
Trust me,
wish
dude.
that
It's
they would have
been.
the up and up, but
I was gonna say it's been years that I've rooted for Bungie because, like I said, I did used to love Destiny and I wanted it to get better. But the
yeah,
way that everything's been handled, it's not looking like they're gonna
yes.
be uptrending anytime soon.
I am optimistic that they're gonna be
I'm
good this year.
optimistic for your optimism. So
Well, I appreciate
I
it.
am pessimistic for y'all's optimism.
I see.
I see.
All right.
I
Anything
have
else about Bungie?
No,
No,
just
no,
I wish them the best. And
You know what?
please do something to get me back. Because I am dying out here.
God.
Yeah, Christian's fucking fighting for his life, dude. He's out here playing Helldivers by himself. It's rough.
Dear God.
Oh my God.
You know
The
what it
last
is,
one.
dude?
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Go. No, you got your last one. I'll wait till after. Go ahead.
What? No, what you have?
Oh no, I was gonna make a prediction, but it's more of a joke prediction.
Okay.
Yeah.
My last one. Square Enix is gonna either reveal Part 3 of 7 or Kingdom Hearts 4 this year.
Okay,
Wow.
well we can keep dreaming about Kingdom Hearts 4. We'll probably just get like a teaser trailer for Final Fantasy 7.
Yeah.
As someone that wants the next Kingdom Hearts, it's not happening, bro. I've given up on that dream.
That trailer was 2 years ago.
It was 4 years ago.
They're gonna show us the Kingdom Hearts trailer, and it's gonna be a skin for Final Fantasy 14.
No, it's not even gonna be for Final Fantasy 14. It's gonna be for Final Fantasy 7 Ever Crisis, the mobile game.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
I'm so tired of this.
All right. What was your joke prediction, Alan?
I was just gonna say because we always say that Japan's not listening to us, or they don't care about the Western audience. I thought that maybe it'd be really funny if this year they decided to somewhat listen to us and hear all the complaints of isekai anime, and we get even more.
More isekai anime.
I want more isekai anime. Give me more. There's so many light novels out there and manga that haven't been adapted. Keep them coming, bro. I'm your one true fan.
That's rough. It's
Crazy.
Anyway, on that abysmal note, Jesus. We're just now crawling out of it too. I think this last 2 seasons were like the first seasons in a couple years where there wasn't more isekai than other anime.
Oh, you haven't been looking hard enough, brother. I've been watching anime consistently every day for the last 3 months, and I'm still not caught up.
God.
Oh God. Well, that's all the predictions I have. Anybody else got anything?
No. I got nothing.
I'm as sad as this is, and as desperately as I want this to be wrong, I have a feeling that we're gonna get even more remakes of movies and especially games, and I'm gonna be mad about it.
Yeah, pretty much. Safe bet.
With the way that the industry is going, we're gonna get The Last of Us Part 2 remastered 3.0 soon. Then we're gonna get The Last of Us Part 1 remastered 4.0, where it's gonna be coming out for the Nintendo Switch 2.
I think it's gonna be a remake, not a remaster, but yeah.
Yeah, no, it'll be a remaster. Just you watch, dude. I think you're underestimating how strong they care about this title. And then Indiana Jones will get a reboot for sure.
Bro, Indiana Jones was a great game.
I'm not talking about the game. I'm talking about the movies are getting a reboot with the new actor.
What was that, Golden Triangle or something that just came out?
Yeah.
The golden, no, it's the
Compass? I don't know.
the dial of something.
Dial of Destiny.
Dial of Destiny. Yeah. That's what it was.
So sad. So sad.
And I guess this is more like a hope because I've caught up to the manga and I'm such a big fucking fan of it. I've been reading the Dandadan manga. I mean, I caught up like last month, so I've just been reading it weekly. But you're on episode, you should keep watching. If the manga keeps going in quality that it has been, and the anime, because part 2 of the anime comes out in June, July. It's like for the summer season. And if it's 24 episodes and it continues to like kind of regularly release and there's nothing too crazy, I feel like Dandadan will be bigger than at least Demon Slayer.
Okay.
And that's under the assumption that the quality in the manga keeps going, because it's been fucking phenomenal so far. Okay. And again, this is more like, I guess, more like bias, because this manga very turned out to be what I would consider more Alan coded. I'm in love with this fucking manga. It's so fucking good. I go from being hyped to crying within like 5 chapters. It's crazy.
That's
Nice.
actually wild.
Yeah.
That is actually wild.
So if you haven't read the manga and you're interested because you don't want to wait for season 2, go read it. It's definitely worth your time.
Cool.
All right.
You want to go around the room and see what we all been doing this week?
Sure.
Yeah.
I can start, I guess. I've been slowly weaning off of multiplayer games, slowly but surely, because I need to just focus on story games. Like I told you, I just finished the base game of Remake that I'd been holding off for fucking like 8 years. There's so many single player games that I have to play, and unfortunately a lot of them are JRPGs, and I can't keep getting distracted with like Marvel Rivals,
I mean, you
fucking
can. You definitely
Overwatch.
can.
I mean, I could. You're right. And other random ass games that people will invite me to play, and then I don't end up playing any single player games. And so, like, I still have to get through all the Final Fantasies. I booted up Final Fantasy VIII yesterday, got to the menu, loaded in, and then I was like, I don't want to fucking play this trash. And then I like turned it off.
Oh my god!
And
this
it's not,
guy.
dude. I just wasn't in the mood for it. I started moving around, and I was like, God, I forgot how rough this is. And again,
Yeah.
I get it. It's an old game. I'm not gonna call the game trash because of it. It's it's an old game made on a console that only had the D-pad, no sticks yet. But yeah, I definitely have to be in the mood, and I have to like sit down and just get through it. I still am really dreading the draw system, but that's my own gripe.
Kensu's not gonna like this slander, all right?
Kenso is not gonna like this slander, but hey, I haven't said the game is trash. I'm just saying the fucking draw system is trash. I'm even giving y'all the benefit of the doubt and hoping that the junction system gets better. Like, I'm not even shitting on that right now. So, Kenso is getting on the uptrend, so to speak. All right. And other than that, I've been playing my gacha games because I'm trying to decide on which one I'm gonna give up and get rid of, because they're also getting in the time of like my other just life. Because I think like as much as I do love those games because they're very character driven and story heavy, and obviously like they're trying to get you involved and invested in the characters, so you spend money on them and stuff like that. But like I think because of that, I tend to really enjoy those games because you get like the big overarching story, and some gacha games are better than others, even by like game standards. I think like they're like 8 out of 10s at most. But like again, it's enough for me, and I'm having a good time, and you get like a lot of the smaller interactions, you get to hang out with these characters, so I like enjoy them. But like when you start playing like 6 of them, they take up way too much time, so I have to like now be like, all right, I'm getting rid of you, so we'll see how that goes.
Gotcha. Chris?
I have just been trying to desperately fill that Destiny-sized hole in my heart, and it's been tough out here, man. Real tough. But no, it's been fine. I've just been playing different games, trying to find something that keeps my attention. I want to dedicate time to Marvel Rivals, but man, we were talking about it earlier before we started the podcast, where it's just I don't like being forced to stay in a game that I know is not going anywhere, and that fucking kills it for me, because I love how quick matches are and how you can get in and out, and like you'll go through 3 or 4 matches and then and not even feel it. But when that one shitty match hits, drags on forever, and that just ruins my momentum. I feel like I need to hop off. So like what I've been doing is just playing like 3, 4, maybe 5 games, and then I get off, because that's all I can stomach.
Honestly, and like as much fun as Rivals can be, I feel like it's like super high highs and like decent mids, but like really low lows.
Yeah.
I feel like it's even lower than like Overwatch.
Yeah.
And again, I think it's because the lack of roll queue, even in like, again, I don't want roll queue and quick match, but God, dude, sometimes I fucking wish I could force that on some of these fucking amoebas. It's crazy.
You know how in I think it was Halo 3, and it might have been other games too, but they had a system where if a player team killed twice, I think, the rest of the team had the option to kick them out. Like you could vote on it, and if it was like in a majority of the team decided on it, that player would get kicked out of the match and then replaced with somebody else, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how you would do it, and this is 100% a pipe dream, but I want to kick out some of these Black Widow players, fucking Punisher players that I see, and no joke, running into walls as they're leaving spawn, and I just think there's no way there's a human behind that. There has to be a bot. Like, there's no way.
No, okay. How long are they running into the wall though?
It's human.
How long? Like, is it like
it's
longer than
like,
2
I'll see
seconds?
it as I'm dead, right? So like I'll see their like little screen or whatever. And
Okay, because I will say
I see it for a couple seconds, so it's just a couple seconds. I don't pay attention that much, but yeah.
Because I was gonna say, if it's longer than like a second or two, then yeah, like there's something mentally distraught with that individual. Because I was gonna say, I hold W as it's counting down from 3, and sometimes the screen goes away, and then you're like already running into a wall. That's why I said if it's like longer than 2 seconds, then yeah, there's a problem. But if it's like, oh, okay, I'm in now.
This is out of spawn. This is
okay.
Out of spawn
out of spawn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah, no, because I do that same thing too. It gives you a little head start before you actually load in. But anyways, I hate seeing that and then knowing that I have to play tank because everybody else is either a healer or a DPS, and nobody wants to touch tank. So then I'm the only tank, and then I know for a fact that if I would just switch to DPS, I could kill twice as many people as they are right now, but I can't because we would get murdered without a tank. It feels so bad.
No, and I will say real quick before Daquan says his piece, I really do like Marvel Rivals and the way that it plays, but the reason I haven't committed more time to it, let alone play ranked like I would like Overwatch or even Apex or something else, is like I really love certain characters. Like for me, I'm really big into Psylocke and Luna Snow. Those are to me the peak of having fun in that game, and there's still like a lot of skill expression, and it's a lot of fun. Like you can impact the game heavily, especially if you're really popping off on either character. But when either of those characters get taken, I don't care for anyone else. There isn't another character that like grabs my attention. Like I play Squirrel Girl because it's just fucking funny. Like I don't really play her because she's like fun or like I want to. Like, you know, there's not a character that like Iron Fist can be fun. But the thing is, in that type of game, I don't want to play a melee character if I'm being real.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's just not my thing for sure. Like the closest I get is Magic, and like there's just certain comps that I don't want to play Magic into. And again, that could just be lack of experience, skill at that point. Yeah. So like don't get me wrong. Like I'm aware. I don't play the game enough to know. But like from an outside perspective, trying to be more casual and just play the game for fun, like I don't like, especially in Overwatch, I don't mind filling. There's a character in every role or multiple characters in every role that I really enjoy and I can play at a really decent level, like at least a diamond or plat, right? But in Marvel Rivals, like if I get put on tank, I don't like any of the tanks. Like I play Venom because he's stupid and it like at least lets me be impactful to the team. Groot the exact same way. I don't enjoy playing Groot, but he can provide a lot, especially depending on the team comp you're running. And then for DPS, outside of Psylocke, Squirrel Girl, and like the occasional like Black Widow or something, like I'm not really having fun with any of the other characters. Like I think the only other one that I kind of like is what's his fucking name? Guardian of the Galaxy dude with guns.
Star-Lord.
Star-Lord. Yeah, Star-Lord. I actually kind of like Star-Lord, but I don't like love it either. I think the most variety of cast that has the most fun and entertaining characters are the strategists or the supports. Like I think the 3 characters between Luna, Snow, Cloak and Dagger, and Mantis are so much fun and so varied. Like they have such different playstyles and the way that they heal and do things for the team. And like
they all need to be nerfed.
And they all and that's not even including the interesting demonic playstyle that is Jeff, or the really different playstyle that is Rocket. And so like I get why so many supports are out there or strategists. But like when it comes to DPS and tank, like there's nothing there for me.
Gotcha.
By the way, just for that point that I made about the need to be nerfed, I saw a match where Luna healed 48,000.
Oh, in quick match when I'm just playing and those games are shorter, I'm hitting like 25-30k.
Like 48,000 heals from one healer is insane.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Like that is actually insane.
You know what's even
Like
crazy? It's not even from her ult, right? Like her ult does the AoE healing and
No,
stuff. No,
it's just from her like basic
no,
slapping heals.
it's from her shift, the enhanced autos.
Oh.
That healing is insane. You can take a tank
Yeah.
that's fighting for their life 1 HP to fucking full. The enemy team could be sitting there beating his fucking ass, focusing him, and as long as the Luna Snow doesn't miss and has like even the teensy little bit of help from the other healer, that tank will not die.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
needs to be. And then Mantis does better jobs than a lot of the DPS.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They all three of them need to be nerfed. That's how it needs to happen. No one cares what I think, but
I didn't know it was gonna be such a
All right,
hot
what about
topic. Right.
all right, Daquan, what about you?
game dev made some interesting strides in game playability system and making a thing to work for other things. I'm being very vague here, but
Never right.
made some stuff. And then Marvel Rivals, a lot of Marvel Rivals,
Yeah,
a
as I
lot
said,
of it.
we played on Friday. That show was funny.
Yes. I have found a new main, and when we're done here, we should all play because I now play Loki. So
Oh yeah, you're a
All
Loki
right.
player now. That's right.
that's
I'm gonna eat, but yeah, we can play.
oh yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
god.
Jared? Yeah.
Let's
Yep,
see for me. Metaphor. Been playing a lot of that. That game is great.
Oh, I'm
That game-
actually getting ready to switch over to Metaphor because
Like-
I'm gonna finish Intergrade the day before Rebirth comes out,
Uh-huh.
and so right now I'm about to kick up Metaphor.
That game is insane, dude. It also very disturbing.
Hmm.
That's just the way it goes, man.
Yeah, other than that, just a lot of Destiny and Final Fantasy 14 rating.
Good stuff.
Oh yeah, I saw you guys are getting ready to go to 3 a days, and I was like, thank God I'm not there.
Hey man, I want to get this done because
I mean-
if we're not done by the time 7.2 come out,
It is what it is.
it is what it is.
Very much.
So we lost a healer too. So
I know. That's why I saw you guys were looking for a region healer. I was like, that's what I play. I could go join. But then I saw you're going to 3 a days for 2.5 hours. I was like, never mind.
I want to get this done. So
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
All right.
but that's it for us. Thanks for joining. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you in the next one.
See you in the next one.
Peace.
See ya.